India is pushing for the inclusion of the African Union in G20, and this, it hopes, will be one of the key takeaways from the Leaders' Summit scheduled to happen this weekend. Now, the AU is made of 55 countries from the African continent, and a G20 membership will significantly improve the continent's presence on the global stage. This comes even as some countries have persisted with their objections to the idea, but Prime Minister Narendra Modi has made it clear that Africa is a top priority even within the G20. In fact, a few months ago, he actually wrote to all G20 leaders proposing that the African Union be given full membership at the G20. Weeks later, the proposal was formally included in the draft communication for the summit during a G20 Sherpas meeting in Hampi in July. Now, why is this proposal important? African leaders have for years expressed disappointment that they are left out of critical discussions on global challenges like the availability of medicines and vaccines to food security and even climate action. Despite featuring regularly in G20 discussions, the African continent continues to remain severely underrepresented. Remember that the G20 is a highly influential forum for the world's most developed countries and also some emerging economies. But South Africa is the only member from the African continent. Now, those who have opposed the AU's entry in G20 cite positions taken by some of the African countries on the Russia-Ukraine conflict, political instability, views on transition to clean energy, and also the size of the G20 becoming larger and challenging for meaningful dialogue. But the idea of AU's inclusion in G20 has also found support in quarters of the West, as relationships of countries with Russia and China continue to take a hit. For instance, US President Joe Biden has already said that he wanted the AU to join the G20 as a permanent member. Now, what does India have to say? On Sunday, in an interview to PTI, Prime Minister Modi said that one of the first things India did during its G20 presidency was to hold the Voice of the Global South Summit, which saw enthusiastic participation from Africa. A final decision on the AU proposal would be taken at the G20 summit in New Delhi on September 9 and 10. Regardless of that outcome, it is clear that for India, Africa's development is fundamental to its foreign policy goals and key to global rebalancing, something that India has been working towards.